I mean, what is going on? I mean, it's unbelievable. I was just in Israel 3 weeks ago. The violence was every day. I was literally trying to figure out where I could go and film for the television show without getting in a situation where there'd be a stabbing or a shooting or something. It was very, very difficult and getting worse. Let me tell you what else is happening. A Palestinian man has been charged in diverting Gaza rehabilitation materials to Hamas, to the terrorists. This is what they do, folks. They're hijack. The part of the problem, Hamas hijacks the funds that would be to help the Palestinian people. And then when the Palestinian people, when their lives are miserable, they retaliate at Israel. But the real problem is they're being run by thieves and thugs. The United Nations inspectors responsible for ensuring that such materials provided by a donor nations, such as the United States and other bodies or nonprofit groups, are used solely for rehabilitating the civilian infrastructure. That's what it's supposed to be for. But a Palestinian from the Gaza Strip has been indicted for diverting the building materials meant for reconstruction in the Gaza Strip directly to Hamas and their armed wing. The suspect, named by the Shin Bet as a 36-year-old Tamir Ahmed Mohammed Barum of Beni, Shuila. What? He was arrested trying to enter Israel, crossing, of course, at the border there at Gaza, but his arrest remained under a gag order until today. He was arrested back on August the 31st, but they kept a gag order. Now they're telling us. A spokesperson for the Shin Bet said that they only cleared the arrest for publication today because there were additional investigative steps that need to be taken from the information they got from him. Okay? So the terrorists they've been doing this forever. The United Nations is so corrupt. It is corrupt to the core. They steal the money that's being designated for rehabilitation or reconstruction there in Gaza. They steal the food money that's supposed to go to UNICEF, that's supposed to go to, poor, really poor and impoverished nations in Africa. This has been Kofi Annan, remember him? I mean, his son, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars have been funneled and stolen, and everybody, it's just insane. But wait, let's talk about the violence in Israel. We know it's there. Police data has just been released to Ynet and has indicated an unprecedented amount of suspects detained and indictments served charges of participating in riots across the country. Since Rosh Hashanah, there's been 437 indictments were served for throwing stones, petroleum bombs, and shooting fireworks at police. Now, during this last 3 weeks, there has been a significant decrease in the amount of stabbing attacks in Jerusalem. Moreover, there has been a downturn in the amount of rioting in the city, and police officials are reluctant to declare a return of calm, but say this is quite possible that a series of actions carried out in the capital may have begun to bear fruit. According to the data, since the terrorist attack on the eve of Rosh Hashanah, and that's when Alexander Levovitz was murdered. There's been 1,632 suspects arrested across the country, and they were in participation in riots. Out of that was 1,553 have been detained. So since the beginning of the current wave of terror, the highest rate of detention was recorded in Jerusalem was 797 suspects. I mean, this is unbelievable. 1,632. And the highest ever was 797. Okay? So there's been an absolute, and I'm telling you, and when I was there, I mean, it was just everywhere you looked, there was fear, there was trembling, there were guns, there were riot police here and there and everywhere. There were civilians packing M16s. Everywhere you turned, the tensions was unbelievable high. The name calling, the shouting across the street at one another. Even just 100 feet from our hotel, there was a bag hanging, wrote on it. It said, America 9/11, Israel 24/7. I mean, direct threat in a Jewish area. So this thing is out of control, and I'm glad to hear it maybe calming down some. But remember, Hamas declared that this was the third intifada. They were calling this the Jerusalem Jihad, or Jerusalem Intifada, which is the name of my book, Jerusalem Jihad, that I wrote. And really, it's a novel, and it helps you understand. It's got a lot of current world events in it, a lot of Bible prophecy in it, and I take all that, along with a dream that I received in 2013, and tie that all together. Brought that book out last year, and it's a very powerful read called Jerusalem Jihad, and you can find it at my website if you want to read that. It'll help you understand why and what is going to happen. It has an end-time apocalyptic scenario, but I think it's very interesting. So keep an eye on what's going on, folks. It's time to give your life to Jesus Christ. We are truly, without question, running out of time. And we are running out of time. Are you saved?